I'm joined by Ben Pauling. He's on his way back from the Gallops, I believe. Is that right, Ben? How's things?
Yeah, no, all good. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've just been and galloped a few, actually 4 horses this morning in Lambourne. It's been a bit of a cold spell and haven't really got that much work into some of them at home and a few targets coming up. So we just needed to get away for a quick away day.
Good stuff. No point in asking you whether you had a good Christmas, is there?
No, it was all right, wasn't it? It's one we won't forget in a hurry anyway. Yeah,
tell us how the Jukebox Man is after his King George success.
Yeah, he's in great order. He really is. He came out of it very well indeed. Today's the first day he's actually done 2 canters again. He's been just doing 1 for a little while. But he's doing 2 canters again. And yeah, we'll start building him up slowly from here, I suppose.
Let's take you back to the race. What were your emotions like during it? And was it panning out how you expected?
I mean, first things first, you just got to hope they jump and travel in that sort of grade. We thought Ile-Francais was going to go 1,000,000, and he went a good gallop. I mean, it was a track record, so to say it was slow was probably, I think, an over-exaggeration. But they went a good even gallop. He jumped and travelled as he always does, which was good to see. And turning for home, we couldn't have been any happier. But I think he was just flat out from turning in. They did really sprint for the line and quickened up dramatically. So jumping 3 out, I thought we had it, and 2 out wasn't so sure. And obviously at the last, he just got in slightly tight, but jumped it well, but came out in sort of 3rd or 4th and battled back. And I couldn't believe he got up on the line. So it was a right roller coaster from turning in, but a very exciting finish.
Yeah, an amazingly tenacious effort from him to battle on as he did. It begs the question as to whether 3 miles plus is what he wants going forward, or has he got plenty of speed given that he's got a Ryanair entry?
I mean, I've given him a Ryanair entry only because we have to leave all options open at this stage. We've got a long way to go till March, but he's very much, the plan is to go to the Gold Cup. I think he won at Kempton because he shows a willing attitude. I don't think necessarily it is the perfect track for him. I think it'll be better around a slightly more galloping track like Cheltenham that puts a little bit more emphasis on stamina, because I think he's one of those lovely horses that possesses speed and stamina, but I don't think he's going to struggle for the extra 2 furlongs.
No, he certainly proved that he stays 3 miles at Cheltenham in softer ground, didn't he, in the Albert Bartlett last year. 3 1/4 miles at Cheltenham, though. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned at all. I honestly, as I said, I don't think trip will be that much of an issue. Hence the reason he's got a Ryanair entry as well. But he is very much Gold Cup bound. But I'm confident he'll see the trip out nicely.
Okay, and is it straight to Cheltenham now?
Yeah, I don't. You know, he is in A1 form. The joint he injured feels great. Touch wood. But I don't think he's a horse that needs over racing. I think we know where he is now. I think we'll very easily have him spot on from the back of the King George, and it probably lends itself to going again after Cheltenham if he's well and healthy, rather than going again now. So we'll be looking after him for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll probably step up his work again in preparation for Cheltenham and go from there, really.
Yeah, but another horse that impressed me over Christmas was Mambo Number 5, as he won the Wayward Lad. Now, I know he disappointed on his only run at Cheltenham, but I assume the Arkle will be the target?
Yeah. It will be. He's sort of come up through the handicap route. Obviously, he won the Adonis, but it wasn't necessarily the best Adonis that's ever been run. And this season, I was really keen to use his 4-year-old allowance as a novice chaser, because he's a huge individual, great big strong horse, and a very, very good jumper. So we've come through the handicap route, but they've not been Mickey Mouse races. He's had to show a lot of professionalism and maturity to win those handicaps, while still looking green in front. But I thought the Wayward Lad threw up much stiffer challenge than he'd had ever before, because Ben Jones seems to believe that he's really not a out-and-out 2-miler, and probably to be at his best over 2 miles would want some soft ground. But he went to Kempton on good ground around one of the tightest speed tracks, and he looked in trouble down the back. He made a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes just because he'd never been that fast. But turning for home, I thought it was quite impressive the way he picked them up and won it as he liked. So it was a big step in the right direction, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season. But on the complete opposite to him, to the Jukebox Man, this lad definitely will want another run. He gets wickedly fresh at home and above himself, and that would not be a good thing for any festival race. If they do too much early doors, you've no hope. So he'll go either the Kingmaker at Warwick, or possibly the Game Spirit, or maybe look at the Pendle, but I don't really want to go up in trips, come back in trips. So the Kingmaker or the Game Spirit Chase will probably be one of those will be his next target.
Interesting to see if Lulamba ends up being against you in either of those. And Diva Luna is another who's improved for going over fences this season. Where will we see her next?
So she runs in the Scilly Isles, Sandown at the end of the month. She's been back to her best this year. It's been a joy to train her again. Last year was just didn't work from start to finish. She got ill at the start of the season and then trained like a horse that was running away from a problem. It was just the fact she wasn't right. And we limped through last year and got a couple of nice results, and you'd think we'd be happy with third in the mares her novice hurdle, but we weren't. We knew how good she was, and we knew it wasn't her running. When she fades at the end of a race, you know that she's not right, and that's what she was doing last year. She's come out this year. She was very good at Bangor. She was very good at Warwick, and I'm really looking forward to taking on the boys with the £7 allowance in the Scilly Isles, and then out the back of there, we'll see where she goes.
Yeah, I've seen here Vanderpole has been given £7 by the handicapper off a mark of 141. You muted that the Grand Annual would be his long-term target. I've been impressed with him, obviously going right-handed this season. Do you have any concerns about him going back left-handed?
Yes, I think there is some legs in that discussion, because he has not won left-handed. He's not a horse that jumps left, hangs left or right, or he has nothing at home tells us that he needs to go right rather than left. But I did say to his owners, Lord and Lady Dolverton, when he won Ascot, I said, I think we're just going to keep him right-handed one more time, because he seems to be better right-handed. Obviously, he won at Huntingdon and Ludlow in his novice hurdle year, but I don't believe there's a reason for it, but I think the facts are there that when we've run left-handed, I think we've only run left-handed maybe 3 times. You can write off Kelso because he bled that day. And then obviously the first time out this season at Inothewayurthinkin, he didn't jump well enough, and he didn't look himself at Lingfield. So I think there's excuses, but I know that a few people will probably say he's better right than left, but we'll have to see.
Ben, a couple more things. Firstly, the Jukebox Kid, weather permitting, will he go to Warwick at the weekend?
Yeah, we need some rain. We really do need some rain. He's a horse I like a lot. He was very good up at Carlisle, posted a very good time that day, and should be a horse capable of much better than his mark. Went to Cheltenham, the ground was just on the lively side. He just does like to get his toe in. He didn't jump as well as he did at Carlisle. Again, you could say he might be slightly better right than left, but he did win round Inothewayurthinkin. So I'm very sweet on him. It's a decent little race. You know, it's a proper grade 2 in the respect that race at Warwick. It's always a good race. There might not be a standout grade 1 performer in it that we know of yet. But on the ratings, we've got a bit to find. But I think if it came up soft ground, if they got the top end of the rain forecast for sort of Thursday, Friday, and it came up genuinely soft ground, I think he'd be very competitive.
Okay, good luck if you run him. How's Harry Redknapp? Still on cloud 9?
Yeah, Handstands is great. He actually just worked there this morning in Lambourne. Worked really well. He came out the back of the Betfair, and I thought he jumped and travelled as well as anything in the race for 3/4 of it, and turning in when you just expect Handstands to keep galloping, he didn't, and he hung left. Ben Jones said he hung left, never done that before in his life. He was a bit sore on his back afterwards, but Tim Radford, actually, his owner, said, Ben, should we just get his wind checked? And I happily agreed to that, thinking there would be nothing to come of it because he's never made a noise in his life. And sure enough, his soft palate did need firing. It was fairly unstable. So we've had that done. He did a nice piece of work this morning. He'll have come on for that piece of work. It was a nice, he went through the gears. He had to be asked to do it, but that's why we went to do it. But if he works well at home on Saturday and then Tuesday, he'll go to the Fleur de Lis a week Sunday.
Good stuff, Ben. We'll let you continue on your journey. Hope you're nearly home. Thanks very much for sparing the time.
Not a bother. All the best. Thanks very much.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.